Thank you so much, LEGO, for providing the set early to reveal and review. This build right here was intense. Introducing the LEGO NASA Boeing 747 SCA, or Shuttle Carrier Aircraft. This set here is coming out on May 15th here in 2025. It retails for 300 Canadian dollars or 230 US dollars and is 2,417 pieces. And it is like no other aircraft. The build was once again intense. Let's check it out. So when it's in this display form, that being on the display stand, then we have the Boeing 747 with the shuttle mounted atop. It stands 10.5 inches or 27 centimeters tall. It is 25 inches or 63 centimeters long. That's from tail to nose. And its wingspan from wing to wing is 21 inches or 53.5 centimeters. So it is quite sizable. So when you compare that to a human, you can see that it's quite large. It's quite heavy as well. And the display stand does a great job of providing a grip so you can actually move it around and also displaying it. Now you don't have to display it on its display stand, and of course you don't have to display it in this form where it's actually transporting the space shuttle. You can very easily remove the space shuttle. It's just held on by 3 different struts. And it has these ball joints that clip into the bottom of the spacecraft. So there's 2 at the back and 1 at the nose. And they just go into the ball joint connectors on the top of the aircraft there. So this is the space shuttle, otherwise known as the Enterprise. You can see the name of it on the side there. There's also the United States flag and the NASA logo. Another United States flag on the wing. And on the other side it says USA. And all of those details are done with stickers, unfortunately. Those are not printed. This does feature the tail cone on the back here. They added this to the space shuttle just to give it more aerodynamics when they were flying it around above the 747. And you can very easily remove this. So that is an additional build that you get for this set. And we also have the thrusters for this space shuttle. And those thrusters are currently being stowed away inside here along with the landing gear. So I love the fact that this is stowed away nice, neat, and tidy within the fuselage or the body of the space shuttle. So of course, all of those additional pieces, the thrusters and landing gear, can be removed from the interior of the shuttle. And then they can be put into position on the back. And the landing gear can be put on the bottom. And there we go. Now we have our space shuttle separate from the aircraft. The aircraft can also be removed from the stand. It's actually just held on there by gravity, believe it or not. So the stand does have a 1x3 brick there that goes between the landing gear. And then there's some slopes on the side there that sort of hug the body, but it is held in place by gravity. This is our uniquely shaped stand. And on the bottom of it, of course, we have the specification plaques for both aircrafts. Those, unfortunately, are sticker elements as well. Now that we have the aircraft removed, you can see how strong it is and how large it is and just how well shaped the body is in general. And we can also display it with its landing gear deployed as well. And this is something that has never been done before in LEGO. You'll notice that there's one landing gear the front of the aircraft, and then there's 4 by the wings. And we can deploy all 5 sets of landing gear by spinning a single gear. They're all going to move simultaneously. And the interesting thing about the movement is these ones are moving side to side, these ones are moving front to back, and that is just so incredible. And this is why I said this build was intense, because when you have a look at the technic elements found within the aircraft and just the way that the body was created, or all of like the substructure within, it was just amazing. It was mind-boggling. The landing gear is strong enough to fully support the aircraft on its own and also with the shuttle reattached, which we can reattach just by removing the landing gear, lining up the ball joints in the back and also on the front, and simply popping it in place. It does get a little bit back heavy, but it does fully support both builds, which is pretty impressive when it comes to Lego, especially when you consider the fact that all 5 pieces of landing gear can be deployed at once. It's pretty special. Here we have the set alongside similar sets. So the Boeing 747 SCA and the Boeing Dreamliner. Obviously, this being an older set is nowhere near as sophisticated as the new Boeing 747. But the size of this one is quite comparable. So there we have the Enterprise sitting on top of the Discovery, so you can truly visualize the size difference. And there's the Creator 3-in-1, with the Enterprise and the Adventure in behind. So it's right between the 2 different sizes. The Boeing 747 was the second half of the build. Each build got their own instruction manual, and this aspect of the build was definitely a lot more technically advanced than the Space Shuttle. The nose cone is printed along with that circular piece on the nose there as well, and all of the window pieces, like this large curve slope there, and all of these curve slopes going alongside are all printed, that being the windows, although this plane did not really have any passengers within because the interior was actually hollowed out to reduce the weight so that I actually shuttle the space shuttle around. The wings were just something different to put together, the way that they were clipped into the body using the Technic pins that run through this part of the build. There's a couple hidden triangles in there to give the proper angle and also to give the slight upward angle of the Boeing 747. So it's very authentic to the actual aircraft. We have 2 engines on either side. The back dorsal fin can very easily be removed. It's just held in place by 3 different points of connection there. And then we can put these additional stabilizers that were added to the aircraft down like that. And it can actually sit like this here, so we can get a good visual of the underside of the aircraft. So you can see all of the triangular or odd shaped plates that were used to create the wings and the way that they were attached there. And we can also get a better look at that landing gear and the overall shape of the body and tail fin. You can see all the interesting parts that were used to get the unique angles of the aircraft down right. The front windscreen is printed, but the curved slope that you see behind that with the number 376 on either side is a sticker element. I really like this angle right there with the strut popping out in the middle. And then I like the way that the body was filled in above the windows. It's actually panels built with bricks, plates, and tiles, and had some clip elements in it as well. And this long piece was just sort of clipped in place, filling in the gap, which was super satisfying. And then there was a smaller one on either side behind the back struts. And with the dorsal fin removed, you can see the tail fins there. Really interesting build, like lots of triangular and odd shaped plates to construct that unique angle, curved slopes on the front of it, and a good combination of studs and smooth finish. And then we have the additional stabilizers on the ball joints, which can hinge upward like that. And here's the dorsal fin removed. You can see how that was created using some panel elements with some sticker detail, that being the United States flag and also the NASA logo on the big 6x6 tile. So that is a large sticker element. And this was built with some connectors, inverted slopes, bricks, plates, and also some more connector elements in the middle there that hold these 6x6 tiles in place. And just like the dorsal fin, the rear tail fins can be very easily removed. They're just held in place by this little mini Technic build there. But you can see the angle that they're presented at there. Very cool. Something that got me for a second when looking at this set is the backward US flags on this side of the aircraft. You see that? I was like, wait a minute, did I make a mistake? Did I apply the stickers the wrong way? What's going on here? But after checking the instruction manual, I was confident I didn't. And then after looking at the pictures of the aircraft in the front of the instruction manual, this real life still right here has the flags the same way as well. So yeah, that is authentic. As mentioned, you get 2 instruction manuals, the second one being a lot thicker. Within the first few pages of the instruction manual, we have some real-life images of the aircrafts and also information about them. Personally, I wasn't a Boeing 747 SCA specialist, so this definitely was a pretty interesting read. I always like it when LEGO includes interesting information like this in their instruction manuals. So I'm trying to think of some negative things to say about this set because people always like to hear that. Just giving you a hard time. But I think this should for sure 1000% have printed specifications plaques. LEGO has sort of been giving us more printed specs plaques, and if they can do them for helmets, and they can do them for Technic supercars, and they can do them for dioramas, then they could definitely do it for a Boeing 747 SCA set that's priced at $230 US, 2,417 pieces, so I guess the price per piece is actually not too bad. You got the NASA sort of brand, also Boeing brand, and the build of it was magnificent. And it's a great display piece that is going to appeal to fans of aviation, fans of space, fans of sophisticated LEGO builds. And I love the fact that there is just the different ways of displaying it, sort of like versatile. And the fact that the landing gear can all deploy at once and fully support the aircraft and the space shuttle is really nice. Also, the stand is just awesome. It gets it at that perfect balance, so it's at that really nice angle, and just the build itself, once again, was intense, and I had a fun time putting it together. So let me know what you think of this awesome set by commenting below. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future, and have yourselves a great day. Bye for now.